morning everybody, this is Johnny S with another R6 vlog. In today's topic we're going to discuss bike confidence, how to increase your bike confidence. A little bit of introduction for the newbies. My name is John, 44 years old, married guy with a kid, living in Greece, grew up in Australia, hence why we speak in English. And we're on top of an Yamaha R6 2006 model, Raven Black Edition, which I had for quite many years, possibly more than 10 years. So in today's topic we're going to discuss about bike confidence. I'm still sick, I'm not feeling well, so I don't know if I'll be able to showcase some of these things as we're going on the road, but at least on a theoretical point we'll discuss them. Sorry for any coughing ahead of time. So as many people know, my practice makes perfect. The more you practice things, the better you become at them. Some things you can practice on the road, some things you can only practice on the track. There are quite a few things that you can practice on the road, and out of all these things that I'm going to mention, there's only one thing that you really should only practice on the road. So I'll go through them quickly, and then we will deep dive into each one of them separately. So what are the things that you can practice on the road safely without endangering yourself? What's the one thing that you should not practice on the road? And then once I mention this, we'll go through how to practice each one of these. So one of the things, as I said, is experience. Obviously, the more you drive, the more you experience things, different circumstances, different situations, will get you more accustomed to your bike. Each bike behaves different, and getting accustomed to your bike means your confidence is going to grow. Things that you can try on the road, that you can test yourself. We'll start from, I think, the most important one. This is not in order of importance, but the first one is the most important one, and that is experience. Just drive your bike. Drive your bike. Don't sorry, rush it. Just drive your bike. By you driving your bike, you're going to experience different circumstances. You're going to drive on the dry weather. You're going to drive on wet conditions. You're going to drive on different type of roads, some with good grip, some with bad grip. You're going to, with the passage of time, try different tires as you go through the different tires. You're going to try different gear that can also increase your confidence, different bike protective gear, and slowly you will understand the limitations of your bike, which is going to you're going to have a little bit more faith in your capabilities and a little bit more faith in your bike. But driving a bike is a leap of faith. Give me 1 second, we'll go through here and we'll continue. And we're back. So some of the things is experience. you just driving your bike and coming in touch with different things. It's going to increase the level of your experience. You're going to understand what it feels like to have traction on the road and not have traction on the road. You're going to understand what it feels like when there's raining conditions and your bike starts to slip. You know what I mean? You're going to understand what it feels like to be light on the steering wheel, meaning that your tires are not gripping as they should, both front wheel and rear wheel. You're going to understand what it's like to apply the brakes suddenly because you're going to panic on the road, something's going to happen and your bike might skid. You're going to experience many things. You're going to see the difference between different tires. You're going to get some hard compound tires, you're going to get some soft compound tires. You're going to really see what's going on, and that's going to increase your confidence level, that is going to increase your familiarity, and that is going to offer you, new things. Now, the second most important thing is technique. These things you can try on the road whilst being safe. Some people might never go to the track. What do? You don't practice proper technique? No, you practice it. And this goes across all different bikes. But I am talking more from the perspective of a super sport bike rider. But like I said, most of them, you can apply them in general to many different bikes. So, one of the things, like I said, is technique. And the thing which you should not try on the road are the limits. And especially when I say limits, I mean the leaning limits, the turning capabilities. Because turning a bike and leaning over a bike requires you to have a specific conditions on the road, good asphalt, good traction, good climate, good weather, good temperature on the tires, specific things, no little rocks, no oils, no sudden surprises, no unpredictable lean angles on the road and bends and dust and dirt and whatever the fuck you want to call it. Trying to push the bike limits as far as leaning angle goes should not be tried on the road. And that's the only thing you cannot try on the road. As far as technique, we're going to go through each one of these points and I'll explain. First point, I will say braking. Get used to braking. Second point, visibility. Get used to your visibility. Third point, throttle control. Get used to your throttle control. Fourth point, steering. Get used to your steering. So visibility, look at me now. I'm looking up ahead. Get used to looking up ahead. Don't fixated on any one of these cars. You're looking up ahead. You're looking quite up ahead whilst you're having your mind of what's happening in front of you. You're observer. You're observing what's happening on the different cars on the road. That's visibility. Brake. Try to press your brake suddenly. I will not do it here. This is, let's say, visibility. Brakes. There you go. Look at my speed. Go quite close to that car and then slam the brakes. The back will skip now. Try to test the limits on your brakes without going spastic, without locking your wheels, without becoming dangerous. You know what I mean? Try the limits. If you don't know where your brake limit is, then there will be a circumstance where you will need it and you will not know how to use it. So that's another thing. Test the limits on your brakes. Familiarize with your bike. And each bike is going to be different. Then we can talk about throttle control. Get used to the throttle control when you're going through a turn for it to be gradual. The steering. So here, for example, look at me. I've got a steady throttle control. The car is up ahead. I press the brake. I go same speed as them. Open the throttle control. Understand your acceleration. How fast can I pass this guy? This fast. Can I get to this point quite fast? Yeah. Open your gas. Get used to the acceleration. Lot of cars up ahead. Get ready on the brakes. Familiarize between accelerating and braking. Accelerating and braking. Familiarize with steering. How fast can you move your bike from one angle to the other? I am here. Can I move my bike like this? Yes, I can. Can I dodge this guy without cutting down on the speed? Yes, I can. Yes, I can. No, I cannot. Steady steering as you go through the turn. So you got the thing, listen to the gas. It's steady. I'm changing things, but my gas is steady. Listen to the noise that my bike makes. Listen to it. It's steady. A little bit of increase. A little bit. Turning it down a little bit. Turning it up. Steering. Visibility. If I can see the track, fucking idiot. Body position, very important. I did not mention that. Look at my body position. Lean over. Minimize the lean angle of the brake. Brakes. Shift your weight a little bit. Lean over. Look how straight my bike is. Because my body's leaned over. Look at this. Look how straight my bike is. Open up the gas. Apply the brakes. And look at the guy in front of me, what he's doing. Apply the brakes. Understand what you can and what you cannot do. Understand how fast you can accelerate and pass them. Visibility. I don't have visibility on this turn, so be cautious. Turn your head towards this direction. Steady gas. Proper body position. Slowly increase it. Come back in center, apply strong brakes, check what's happening on your left hand side. Apply stronger brakes, downshift smoothly without skipping on the bike, and obviously depending on what machine you have underneath you, it will assist you on performing some of these tasks. Having a super sport bike, you will realize that when it comes to leaning, when it comes to turning, the machine is very stable. It has been built for this. When you have a touring bike with off-road, semi-off-road tires, you will realize that it's not as steady when it comes to keeping your angles. Okay. When it comes to visibility, it doesn't play a role on the bike. That just has to do with you. When it comes to the brakes, it plays a difference. Different brake with stronger brake calipers will offer you better or worse braking capabilities. Practice these things. Practice. Every day, every road, practice them. How far and how much you're going to practice them depends on the road conditions. What I did there with the speed, for example, what I did with the speed, for example, there can only be attempted on that road. Why? Because that's the only road that you can attempt it with. Look at them drive, man. So braking depends on your braking, depends how good you are under your braking. It depends if you are going to be able to apply it. Also, if you're going to test your braking, you have to be on a good road with a good asphalt. relatively good road, good asphalt. Your gas, how much gas can you open? If it's a smaller bike, then you have much more capabilities and free play to be a little bit, let's say, more abrupt. If you've got a super sport bike, if you've got a little bike, then you have to sort of be more relaxed. You got to be more smooth in your movement. All these things you need to practice on the road, and you will get better and better and better. Your body position, take a turn. It doesn't have to be a crazy turn, just take a turn. Place your body. Place your body on a specific position, even if you're not going to push it. It doesn't mean because you're sitting on a specific thing that you're going to be pushing it. You know what I mean? It does not mean that. A good body position is good body position. Nothing more, nothing less to it. Your steering, understand what your bike can do when it comes to the steering. Try to test different steering techniques. Counter steering, leaning over your bike. A lot of pressure on the steering wheel, not a lot of pressure on the steering wheel, more relaxed on the hand. Gradual movement of your acceleration. Let's say you need to downshift on top of a turn, which is not recommended. Most of the actions that you need to do are before the turn. So when you approach a turn, it's presumed that you have already selected the right speed, you've broken, you've gotten the good angle, and your hand is on the gas, kind of keeping it steady. But if there is a dangerous situation where you'll need to adjust things and change gear mid-turn, for example, are you able to do it? Do you have the knowledge on how to do that without upsetting the bike, the balance of the bike? How smooth can you be with the changing of gears? With your clutch, with your brake, with your gas. Let's say your turn is, and this is not just opening the gas, let's say the turn is sorry, let's say there's some conditions which require you to trail brake, and you need to turn off the gas. You're not going to trail brake while having a steady hand on the gas. So let's say you go towards the turn, you got your hand on the gas, you got like a steady small amount of gas in order for you to take the turn, and then you realize you need to trail brake. First of all, you gotta fucking close the gas. You can't, as you're giving a little bit, 5% of gas, simultaneously trail brake. You gotta close it. When you're closing the gas, even that little 3% towards the end, it's gonna upset the bike. It's gonna shift abruptly the weight. Can you do that? And then simultaneously apply the brake also without going abrupt and whilst being smooth on your movements. Can you do that? All these things come with experience. The only thing that I will say do not try to test on the bike is your leaning angle, and that's the only one, your leaning angle. And why I said the leaning angle, because that's the one that is going to obsess you to go faster in order to take a greater lean angle on a specific. Let's say there's a turn and you can take it 60 kilometers. You're not going to lean a lot. If in your mind you are curious to see what it's like to lean over more and more, and you look at your tires and I have not like pushed it and everything, then you might be tempted to do more and more and more and more. And if you're going to be tempted to do more and more and more and more, you might go faster and faster and faster, which is going to be dangerous. Anyway guys, we've reached my work. I would like to thank everyone for your time. I hope this video offers some help and some insights, at least on my perception of things. I wish you everybody to have a good time. Stay safe always, and we will talk soon. Goodbye my friends.